This episode of the Pete the Planner Show is brought to you by myindiana529.com. Dreams are worth saving for, and if you've got a dream of your child going to college and them not being saddled with student loan debt, go to myindiana529.com. Hello, everyone. The whole crew is back. Dame is here, fresh off a World Cup game. Holy cow.
Yeah, it was way crazier of an environment than I gave it credit for. I've watched a number of World Cup games this year, seen the crowds be very energetic, let's call it.
Kristen, did you go to any world-class sporting events other than laying drainage pipe in your land this past week?
I did not. In fact, Damien banned me. He said, now's not the time to start watching. So...
you guys, I want to start a little different direction this week here on this financial show. I thought, we answer financial questions all the time. Sometimes they turn into questions that have nothing to do with money. They're about feelings and relationships and ethics and all sorts of other things. Well, I was reading the New York Times Magazine this morning, as one would do on a Friday morning, trying to run a company. And I saw a question so compelling that I feel like we must weigh in on it.
Oh, no.
Well,
all right. So I'm going to start reading the question.
Okay.
My husband's best friend is married to a woman who is an eternal victim, a compulsive liar, and a horrible gossip. She seems nice enough on the surface, but dig a few inches deep and you quickly realize why she has burned just about every bridge she has ever built. Her husband has accused mine of being distant, at times even hinting that he's a social climber for not wanting to hang out with him and his wife. The resentment has been brewing for some time, and I am near my breaking point. My husband is a very nice man and a people pleaser, and I hate the fact that his friend has made him feel guilty. Do I encourage my husband to tell his friend the truth, or do we, as two couples, just continue to silently grow apart? I feel that my husband owes it to him as a friend to explain that his wife is someone we do not want in our lives. Right now, it feels as if we're in this awful holding pattern, and I want a solution, name withheld. So, yeah, I mean, I have thoughts, but I want to start with Kristen because I feel like there's no one in the world that I want to hear his opinion on this than Kristen. I read this and I thought of you because I thought you're going to have something I've never even considered.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because Tom's friends don't like me and now they're distant.
This is actually from Tom's friend. Tom, why are we going government names on the show?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good point. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I feel like telling him, is she really suggesting that you tell this other guy that like you don't like his wife? Because that's not really fair. What's he supposed to do about that?
Like, what's the friend supposed to do about that? Right?
Yeah, that's his wife. What's he supposed to do? Tell her that she's awful?
Hopefully
he doesn't think that she's awful.
So Kristen shocks me by not shocking me. She surprises me by not surprising me. Dame, this seems pretty cut and dry to me. What do you think?
First of all, the husband of the offending wife, he knows.
He knows. He prays every night for it to end. Dear God, please strike me down.
Yeah.
Why can't we just outgrow the friendship? It's over.
That's it. You just continue to go your separate way. You don't have to say anything, but you won't be the last friend couple.
People grow apart.
Matriculate away.
People
they
grow
fizzle
apart.
out. It's fine.
It's fine. You guys, so we like we're an advice show, guidance show, and we agree on this. Just grow apart. I think the other side of this is no matter the dynamics of whatever relationship, when you're telling someone else what they ought to do, that's not going to work.
No. I'm sorry that she's not great, but such is life.
That's why I don't have a lot of couple friends. It's so hard to get the chemistry right of 4 people.
Yeah.
Really?
True.
Yeah. maybe you are amazing.
I mean, our like core group of friends is 4 couples, and the guys have been friends for an eternity, and the girls all get along really well.
4 couples is too much. You guys are gonna have to eliminate one. Which 2 are you getting rid of?
2, absolutely not.
No, people. Like you got to get rid of. What are their
Oh.
names? So of the couple, who are you
No.
getting rid of?
Absolutely not.
Dane, what do
No
you think?
way.
Who should they get rid
Because
of?
they would probably vote us off the island. I'm
will say
proud to be friends with.
in 5 years, at least one of those couples will no longer be part of your circle.
Gosh, that's so dark.
I mean, no, it's just the way. If you think about the friends that you hung out with 5, let's call it 7 years ago,
No.
there's she's getting choked up.
I'm not. The guys have been friends since they were like little. There's no way.
Well, they
I'm
may
just
still be
telling
friends.
you, I've been there. Dame's right.
The one couple did move a couple hours away, so we don't see them as much.
they're
So
out.
maybe they just
They're-
naturally like
They
pushed
self-selected.
out.
They're gone.
See you, Ricky. You're out.
Aw.
Dame, how many like good couple friends do you have?
I mean, it depends on what you define good at. I mean, we don't hang out every week, but there's probably 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name names. I'll let them guess who they are.
We just got a couple. I mean,
Yeah.
a couple couples probably.
I feel like it's still easier for us because we spend so much time with other couples because of kid activities that we're just in similar environments and stages of life, and so we have these forced times where you just spend time with each other.
Kristen, you might not be there yet. I think you've got, I don't know, maybe 5 years left. Maybe. Dame, we had a couple friend that we inseparable. Go out to eat every week, at least once. This is before we had kids. That couple stopped being a couple,
Mhm.
Oh.
and that ruined everything,
That would have been really awkward if you tried to have dinner with both of them after that.
especially with their new partners.
Yeah.
And so I think it sort of spoiled us on like, it's like your dog dies, you don't want to get another dog. You're like, I don't want to have another dead dog.
I think that's the same.
It's the same thing.
I don't think so.
No, Kristen, trust me.
Okay.
It's like, I don't want another dead dog. And that's what that is.
I'll
Literally.
report back in 5 years when we have no friends and let you guys know.
I think we've nailed, guys, it's so good to be back together. Do you want to hear something wild, friends of the podcast here? Next week, some of us are on vacation. And so I was at a crossroads. I was like, okay, well, I can grab an old episode and then edit it, and it's the new best of or whatever. But somehow, some way, the easier path for me is just a random solo episode that I'm going to record this afternoon of me talking about something. And I don't have a plan. And you're going to have to deal with it next week. And I just want to let you know.
Feel free to put your suggestions in the chat if you're
Yes.
with us right now on what you'd like to hear Pete opine on for 20 to 30 minutes.
Yes, that's it. Dame, thank you. All right. So we got lots of people here today. We got Jameson, former listener of the year. We got Andy, former listener of the year. We got Nicholas and Jenny and other folks. What should I wax poetic about for 30 minutes this afternoon? Any topic. I don't really care.
Any.
It has to be financial adjacent.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's do this. We have a show. I don't know what we're doing. Get a timer.
By the way, I think pretty much everybody's on vacation next Friday.
Everyone is on vacation next Friday.
Guys, I don't. What am I,
Celebrating
a
the big
doctor? I don't
250.
know. Oh, yeah. We'll talk plans of 250 here. I'm having a street brawl in my front yard. 3, 2, 1. This week on the Pete the Planner Show, we answer your money questions. Here's how the show works. You email us, askpete@petetheplanner.com. That's askpete@petetheplanner.com. And here's what will happen. We may turn your question, your query, into an internet video, or like a real long Vine, a radio show, and a podcast. Joining me is World Cup attendee Damian Dunn. Dame, hello.
Good day.
If the listeners were to bet on which one of us was going to go to the World Cup, they would have lost all of their money.
All of it.
Hello to you. Named Kristen Elanius, future donkey owner.
Hello.
Maybe. I'm doubting you can handle it.
Oh, come on.
Well, all right. This week on the show, we get a question from a listener who starts the show indicating that they've listened to the show. Dear Kristen and Co. I am 33 years old. My wife and I just bought a new house. We plan on being here for the next 20 plus years, if not longer, but at least until our kids are out of the house. This new payment is much larger than our previous one was. We bought a small ranch back in 2017 and refinanced in 2020. Our monthly P&I was $716. Oh, time out. Can we just all like close our eyes? Let's just exhale and think how amazing that'd be. Right, everybody, close it. Oh, I can't imagine that. That's wonderful.
Would be nice.
Dane, what was your first mortgage payment?
$925 somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think mine was like $850, something like that. Kristen, what was yours?
I think it was like 13 something.
Our new P&I payment is $2,460. This has been a huge mental shift as we spent months not believing we needed to purchase a home at these prices. Our home purchase came out of a need for a larger home to fit our family. My wife gave birth to our fourth child back in August of 2025. A lot of hugging in that house. The fourth child made it obvious that 1,700 square feet was not going to be sustainable long-term as our children got older. My question is, are we okay to pull back on retirement savings and prioritize paying down the mortgage to put us in a place in the next 3 to 5 years to refinance and lower our payment? I understand what the math says to invest, but I need help making a plan. I'm not worried we can't afford this new house payment. I think I'm just struggling with making a huge financial shift in our life and getting clear on what the plan now is. We have spent so long focusing on retirement savings and then saving towards this new home purchase that I am not sure how to tackle things moving forward. Blah, 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 blah. Here's the income. It's always when I do the blah, 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 guys, that I skip all the important details. So we'll just discover that later.
Yeah.
2025 income was $175,000, 100 coming from a firefighter salary and 75 coming from a firefighter calendar. I'm just kidding. From a business I own and work in as well. The business income has increased every year for the last 6 years. I expect it to be around 80, 85 this year, but we've always tried not to be reliant on the business income. Blah, 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 blah. Mortgage, purchased the home for $550,000 American dollars, put down $150. Loan amount $399. Interest 6.25%. Cash emergency fund $18,000. Home renovation $50,000. We would love to update our new kitchen, but not sure what it would cost and if it's even wise. Has a nice, lovely pension. Has got $185,000 in a Roth IRA. $90K in a different retirement plan. They put $625 a month into Indiana 529 plans. I got a small car loan. What do we do? You guys, do you think I hit all the details there?
I think you missed some really big ones, but that's okay.
What are the big ones I missed?
A nice little pension.
I'm eligible for a pension at the age of 52 with my years of service. I would get 72% of my base salary. That would be equivalent to $72,000 a year in today's dollars. I'm not sure if I want to retire that early, but that is when I would be eligible to draw from this pension. I'm required to contribute 6%. Yeah, nice little pension. How would you describe that?
Little. I think that's my hang up.
I'm being quaint. I'm like, people go like, hey, you're quaint.
I mean, just to be fair, if I know somebody's going to have nearly 3/4 of their income replaced at the age of 52, if they want to retire, then that's not a little pension. That's incredibly significant.
But this emailer's 33 years old, and that pension eligibility is at what age?
52.
So
closer to Dame and I's age.
Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so I mean that gets into another. We might as well address this now before we jump into what they're actually getting at. They're doing really well in their Roth, which is great. They have access to a 457 plan, a governmental 457 plan. They can take withdrawals out of that and avoid the 10% the 10% penalty at any point. So I might refocus my contributions.
why?
Because if he decides to retire at 52, he'll get his pension. Then he's also got another source of income that he can pull from, another account he can pull from penalty free. Let that Roth continue to grow until he decides to start Social Security and just have another source of penalty free income that he can dip into.
I feel like you guys are chasing rabbits here. I don't think this has anything to do with him wanting to retire early. I don't think. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
This is just extra for him. Hey, think about it. And thank you for your service as a fire person.
Fire person. He's a man.
So,
Anyway,
so what's the real question here? The question is, should they feel bad and pay more down on their mortgage? I like, what's the question?
I think one of the big questions is why do they want to pay down principal on a mortgage that they want to potentially refinance? Why? I'm not trying to be cute, to quote Pete, but why?
I'm with you, Kristen. I at first they wrote that and I was like, oh yeah, of course. And then I was like, but why of course? Why? Because it sounds really compelling. It's like,
Correct.
hey, we have some pain here, so we're going to pay a little bit more now. So then later when we change the payment, we have done what?
Right. I feel like a better option would be to save some cash to the side and just put some funds down on the principal and potentially recast if the interest rate environment isn't favorable for a refi. I don't know, but I don't know why that has to be the primary goal. I feel like I'm missing something.
Dame, are you thrown by the whole idea of pay more on the mortgage now for a few years?
yeah, a little bit. I mean, I just make sure that I'm stuck on the pension.
He's stuck on the pension.
I'm jealous. I'll just come out and say it. I'm
All
jealous.
he's talking about.
Yeah. I don't know why the focus would be on paying more to something you already feel like it's going to be a big shift and you're going to be tight on anyway. Just make sure that your life fits and flows and you can still accomplish everything you want and you need, whether that's focusing on 529s, retirement, whatever direction you choose to go. Find that new rhythm. And then if you've still got some money, maybe that side business takes off a little bit more, start dedicating those dollars towards aggressively paying off the mortgage if you want. But we have no idea what more interest rates are going to do. Don't know if there's going to be a better environment for refinancing that future. Find rhythm with your life right now and then start taking advantage of opportunities as they show up.
Anything else to say about that pension, Dave?
It's great. I don't know why he would ever consider leaving that job.
He didn't.
I know.
All right. So here's what we're going to do the rest of the episode. We are going to talk about, are they doing well? And are they just panicking out of discomfort? Like what is really wrong here? What are they trying to accomplish? And maybe we'll get into the math of what paying more on the mortgage and stopping retirement payments, what would that actually do? What would the math look like later in life? So that is what we're doing this week on the Pete the Planner Show. Housing discomfort now turns into adding more housing discomfort as a penance. All that's next on the Pete the Planner Show. I'm Pete the Planner.
Kids have a way of testing their futures early. Presentations to their stuffed animals, model rockets built out of spare parts from the garage, or turning the living room into their personal training academy. Help them reach their potential with an Indiana 529 education savings plan. With flexible investment options, tax advantages, and a convenient mobile app, saving is at your fingertips. Visit myindiana529.com and start with just $10. Read the disclosure booklet carefully before investing.
The other day, I noticed that my neighbor had 3 different HVAC companies at their house over the course of about 24 hours. I didn't know what was happening, but we all know what was happening. They were either getting quotes or something went wrong, like a bad haircut, and someone had to fix it. This is precisely why I use Home Concierge by NeighborServe. They help me understand what a project should cost. I don't have to go through a bunch of bidding. And plus, they know the trusted pros to trust. I don't even know where to start. And what I love the most is they're powered by trust, not ad buys. So if you're like me and you want a super handy friend that makes all this stuff easy, visit neighborserve.com/Pete. That is neighborserve.com/Pete for 1 free month of Home Concierge by NeighborServe. Dame, did you paint your body at all for the World Cup?
I did not.
What game did you want? The people want to know. What did you see and do?
I don't even know who we went to see. We just cheered really loud.
Uruguay and who did you see?
Go
Ivory
ahead.
Coast? No,
Yeah.
I'm
No.
thinking back. Oh, Cape Verde.
Yep. Cabo Verde.
That's great, Dame. I was really excited for you that you went. Incredibly jealous. And when I was showing my young boy your view that you sent me, he was like, "They don't even like soccer, and they got tickets." And I was like, "Boy, I don't care for this."
I have to admit there was a tinge of guilt that I was going to that match, and that I knew that you would have loved it and appreciated it way more than somebody like me. But it was a really great experience. I'm glad I got to do it. Glad I got to share that with my son. And of course, he spent most of the time on his phone, sending pictures to his friends, showing them that he was there. It was basically a flex for him, I think.
I looked at my son and said, "Why can't we go?" And I said, "Well, we have a budget." And I'll be honest with you. I have a friend named Kristen, and I owe her a donkey. And so I could either take you to the World Cup and create memories with you, because someday I'll be dead. Or I can buy a woman in Northern Indiana a donkey that she won't be able to really take care of well.
Okay. Why am I catching strays here?
Because it's funny.
I did nothing.
It's funny to me. All right. Jameson brings up a really good idea. So I'm going to share this here. Pete Solo Show topics: rundown of the mock retirement concept, refresh on power percentage principle, or real-time donkey purchase research. I actually, the third one's amazing, but the first two have legs. Unlike probably this used donkey I'm going to buy Kristen. What do you guys think? What do you think's better? Power percentage refresh or mock retirement? And maybe beyond that, which one can I execute seamlessly later today after a long work week?
Power percentage.
Mock retirement.
Oh. Boy. Dave, my brain went to mock retirement too, honestly.
Yeah. I think the format in the audience, I think mock retirement makes a lot of sense.
He just called all old. Y'all old.
Oh.
Ryan Ray, the esteemed Ryan Ray, says buy the donkey.
Thank you, Ryan.
You guys want a business story or a marriage story?
Do you really want to tell us a business story? You sounded reluctant when you said that. And the marriage story didn't have a lot of enthusiasm behind it either. I'm not sure you want to tell us anything.
It's not my business.
Maybe not.
No, it's good. All right. So it's Ted and his best friend started a business randomly on Wednesday night.
Okay.
I had no idea. I was because I go to bed. And like at my house, everything gets popping around 11 o'clock, and I am deep in REM at that point. So, Dame, do your teenagers start popping off around 10:30 and 11? It's just a party, and they want to talk finally for the first time in the day.
No, if my daughter's not in bed by 9 o'clock, she's not happy.
We call it party at our house when my daughter just hits like a fever pitch of like dancing. It's just crazy.
She's gonna love college.
I know. So anyway, my son and his best friend come up with an idea to clean garbage cans, like, which is a thing now. You like clean and sanitize garbage cans. And so they got the idea. I don't know. I just talked to my son midday on Thursday. I was like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I started a business this morning. I was like, oh, that's the best thing I've ever heard. And he goes, so-and-so and I are cleaning garbage bins. And we went door to door, and we have 20 customers, and we've got to clean this weekend. So they booked like $700 of revenue. And then he went out with his own debit card you can walk to the hardware store from our house, bought supplies, and I'm blown away. I'm so excited, and I want to get involved, but I'm trying to stay out.
No.
I know. But what he hasn't thought through some of these things though.
Okay.
Of course not.
Number
like
one,
the water source.
Okay, so that we've helped them problem solve. It goes a little grosser than that. How often does someone just have an empty garbage can? They're going to have to remove the bags and the junk that's all in there, so then they can clean and sanitize the can. And what do they do with that? Because it's not always a neat story in there. Number two, when they do clean out the cans and sort of dump the water, there'll be all sorts of detritus all over the place. And that's kind of gross. And so I think they're going to learn a thing or two about quality control.
Yeah.
It'll be a good lesson.
It will be. I'm trying to stay out of it though. Although I did recommend a business name for them. In soccer, if you score a goal and you kick it into the top corner of the net, that is called top bins. And so since they are both soccer players, I said they should name their business Top Bins. And I think that's clever.
It is clever.
That's great.
3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner show, got an email from a person who, I mean, to be frank, I think they're just freaking out. They seem like lovely people. They did a ton right. They had a ridiculous mortgage payment a few years ago, $700 a month. I mean, ridiculously good. And then it went up to $2,400 a month. But they make just under $200,000 a year. They're uncomfortable about this. They're in their 30s. And so they want to solve the problem of too high a percentage of their money going to mortgage payment by paying extra on their mortgage and stop saving for retirement. So we're Dame and Kristen, the actual experts on the show, and myself, who runs the board. We're just sort of thinking, like, what's the real story? Kristen, are we missing a big piece of information, or are they just really spun up and just missing the story here?
Well, without calling into question the fire community for like the 8th week in a row.
Wait, which fire community? A firefighting community?
You know what? That's a really great point. Financial independence, retire early. We do talk about both a lot though, huh?
We do.
I don't know.
In
Anyway.
Fuego, yes.
Anyway, so without upsetting the fire community once again, this feels like a different flavor of why I get concerned about fire, because the behavioral shift or that like mental shift is so hard for people because their mortgage is still not a crazy amount of their income. But because they spent so long with a mortgage that was so low compared to the average American, I think now that they feel like they're out of sorts. That's the real problem, is like they went from way, 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 way below average on what is most household's largest expense to a much more realistic place. And that's just difficult.
Do you think there's more anxiety about almost half of their income coming from that side business than he's giving on? Because it says they've tried not to be reliant on it in the past, and now they have to be.
That's a good point.
That's interesting.
I mean, if fireman, dangerous gig, and I'm wondering if something happens to him and he can't do the side job, and we have no idea what it is. I'm assuming he's very heavily involved and it requires him to physically be there and do it. The side income may be in jeopardy too.
You guys, I think it's also appropriate for us to say every fireman on the planet, fire person, as one would say,
Mhm.
has a side gig. It's unbelievable. They're roofers, they're landscapers, they run pool companies, they interpretive dance for private
Mhm.
parties. Like every fireman I've ever encountered has a side business. And inevitably, this guy absolutely has a landscaping business. I'm just calling it right now. He's going to have to email us back, but I know he does.
Okay.
Do you think that that is also adding to the stress? Is like as the household income continues to grow and he's the primary earner, it's like, what if I am, especially if they're both physically like demanding jobs? What happens if he just says, I just can't work at this pace anymore? This is too taxing on me physically. We've put all of our eggs, so to speak, in this one basket. There's got to be a lot, whether they're saying it or not. That has to be a factor.
You know what they're also not saying is he probably just wants to be out of the house because every time he's at the house, they have another kid. They can't control themselves.
It's a money saving strategy.
Yeah. Kristen, I'm with you. By the way, Dame, I don't know if it's because you were gone last week. I'm getting really sick of agreeing with Kristen.
Yeah. Last week was so good for me.
No, I'm really over it. And I almost like I need a week off to reset and become jaded. And the hard part is like she and I have an actual business meeting this afternoon. Mm-hmm. And so I might just save all my disagreement for her for that meeting. Mm-hmm. Chris, I agree with you. I think this is, let me take you down a story here. Oftentimes you'll see people that have a seasonal job. And I'm going to say seasonal job like works at the mall over Christmas because they have a full-time job. And what ends up happening is that seasonal job has to solve a problem or it creates a problem.
Right.
If it does not pay down a debt or accumulate money, then it gets thrown into the pot of money to be spent and creates more dependency. And so that is a thing. The three of us have seen it for years. And this might be a big version of this thing that this guy feels and is trying to solve. And so I think that's a very real possibility here.
Yeah, I think anytime you go from what is a very advantageous position from a cash flow perspective and obligation perspective to where, man, you're paying a lot of money now. Anytime, God, and Pete and Kristen, I know that anytime I have to write a check or the first time I have to write a big check for a new experience or an obligation, the questions just start coming. Do I actually know what I'm doing? The fear and the anxiety, the buyer's remorse just becomes really, really strong. And eventually you acclimate and you realize the world's not crumbling and you've got this under control. But going through that process can be, well, you lose sleep over it, to be honest. And I think there's some of that going on here as well.
Kristen, you also brought up the fact that this is, again, financial independence, retire early, that it felt like they were living that life. And then they made a lifestyle decision, which is a fully acceptable, reasonable lifestyle decision that they could afford.
Right.
And then they feel pangs of regret because they abandon the principles of FIRE. I buy that 100% that that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm not even saying that they were on the path to financial independence, retire early. I'm not even going to suggest that that's what they were trying to do, but I think that the way that plays out is similar. And I think anytime you have to decrease the amount of money that's increasing your power percentage, you're going to feel that pain. To Dame's point, and maybe that's why I feel additional empathy, is like that was literally my life a year ago. We went from being incredibly underhoused to like more average housing. And that first mortgage payment, I was like, on second thought, I'll go back to the condo. Thank you.
You know, there's another financial element that if you subscribe to it, if you worship at the altar of the idea and then fade from it, it's the same result of what we're talking about today. If this, in fact, is an abandoned fire, okay? It's akin to when someone's using permanent life insurance as a retirement strategy and then mid-stroke a few years down the road decides not to do that. And there's that same decoupling of stability and strategy, and it all starts to fall apart and feel weird. I think it's the same sort of thing. Like, Dame, using life insurance to build wealth works, A, if you've got tons of disposable income, B, you're insurable, and C, you're so stubborn that you never look up and go, why am I paying $3,800 a month for life insurance? And if you're able to do all three of those things, it'll work. If any of them break down, you're toast.
Yeah. I don't think this is necessarily a fire thing. I mean, he says that he's not sure he wants to retire early, but maybe that's just a coping mechanism to where now he says, I'm not sure because I can't.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take a break here. I think it could be simpler than all of this, and I think one of you mentioned it. It's just had your fourth kid. We all know what it felt the first time we had a child to care for. I can't imagine what it feels like when the fourth one comes along and all the pressure takes hold. So we'll consider that next, right here on the Pete the Planner Show. I'm Pete the Planner. You guys think he has a mustache,
Yes.
Dame?
Yeah. Facial hair of some sort. I mean, mustache is the traditional for firefighters, but maybe a beard.
I think women like firefighters. It's something like,
It's
manly
fake.
about them. I
Yeah.
think so. Dame, do you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have this little fireman outfit I put on sometimes at home. It's this cute top. And then
Stolen valor.
is it stolen valor if I wear like an Indianapolis Fire Department just like t-shirt around to like Home Depot? Is that stolen
To
valor?
Home Depot,
Yeah.
that's the context that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm out there casting
Right.
a line, I'm out there ringing that alarm. Okay, this is a great question. Short of dress uniform or fatigues,
Okay.
what other sort of stolen valor adjacent clothing choices are the most inappropriate? Let me give you some examples. Back when I was in high school, everyone was going to Army Navy surplus
Mhm.
stores because it was a cool thing to do. And I bought a heathered gray t-shirt that just said Army in black letters. And I worked out in it all the time. And it just looked cool, but it wasn't, I was 14 or 15. So it wasn't like stolen valor. Is it that? Is it a NYPD shirt? Is it a fire shirt? Is it like, what is stolen valor outside of dress fatigues or dress or fatigues?
I don't think it's what you wear. I think it's that you threw in that you were going to Home Depot in a fire department shirt. I think then it's like, I'm trying to play a part. That's the problem.
Oh, you think it's where you go with the thing?
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you could say, hey, maybe somebody has a family member who's firefighter. They're just, they're supporting them or whatever that could be. I give way more leniency to t-shirts, things like that. But if you're walking around, and somebody asks, and then you say, well, then yeah, it's completely stolen valor. But if it's just a t-shirt or something like that, I don't really care.
I got one for you. How about wearing scrubs and you're not in the medical field? Like scrub pants. I see it all the time. There's a guy at my gym that always shows up in scrubs. And I'm like, there is no way that guy's in medical care.
To the gym?
Yeah. There's also another guy that shows up to the gym that clearly is a surgeon. And he wears like the dark blue scrubs that have the name of his practice and his name on them. And he works out in them. I'm like, I get it. You cut people open, Gary. No one cares.
Works out in scrubs.
And your lateral raises are very weak. Stolen valor. Actually, Rev Renfro sent me a message the other day and said she's got a great stolen valor story for me. So whenever her and I go to lunch, I will have a new stolen valor story. Let's keep it going in 3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner Show, we received an email from a fireman This firefighter, this first responder wanted a response first from us before they acted in their financial life. And I'm getting a look from one of my co-hosts. Kristen, what's the problem?
There is no problem, Pete. Please keep on keeping on.
Gosh. As a trucker would say, it's a trucker hat stolen valor.
No.
Okay, continuing. So these people had a very low dollar mortgage, and then they got a bigger one, and they've got plenty of income. Now, the tough part is this is a firefighter earning about $100K and makes about $80K with side gigs. A lot of firefighters manage their schedules to be able to do that, and this one does too. The firefighter, let's call him, I don't know, Dalmatian. I don't know. That's where I got. Dalmatian might be in a position which he wants to stop the side gig at some point, but now his financial life is more expensive than it used to be. He's got 4 kids now. His wife stays at home, and every time he spends time with her, another kid comes along. So that's sort of the ins and outs of the story, so to speak. Dame, what is next in this?
I mean, I think he's setting himself up really well long term. I mean, if he could just maybe maintain that side gig after age 52, if he decides to retire from the fire department, he's kind of got a great little future set up there for himself. But if we're looking at trying to answer, I mean, did we ever determine what question we're trying to solve?
I think it's more of like, am I thinking about this right? That's the way I think. Kristen's got a. What do you think, Kristen?
He asked us like actual questions.
Oh, well, why? You expect me to read these? Let me look for a question mark. Hold on. I don't see a question mark.
He didn't put one, so I see why you're confused, but he did start the sentence with my question. My question is, are we okay to pull back on retirement savings and prioritize paying down the mortgage to refinance? And I said, absolutely not, Dalmatian.
Yes, thank you. Guys, there's an Easter egg within this. He only got $18,000 in an emergency fund.
Where do we see that? Oh,
I'm a details person, Kristen.
Yeah. 18's not enough, huh?
No. I mean, look, again, for someone who has done so much right and is so intentional, let's not skip that. Right. It's not only have they done things right, they want to do things right. The fact that Dalmatian emailed us, he wants to do the right thing. Dalmatian, my man, $18K in emergency fund. Not even close. That makes me so nervous.
Yeah, especially when I think about emergency savings, for me, I try to think about the sources of income, like how many different buckets of income and how many different people do they come from? Like the household's reliant on his earned income. And that's not to say that his wife couldn't earn income, but like that's not the position you want to be in should he have a reduction or loss in income. 18's not enough.
Can we just look at some numbers for a minute?
Oh, why would we do that? This is a financial show.
185 in a Roth IRA right now.
Right.
Let's assume that he's not going to take it out till age 60.
Okay, fair.
Call that 25-ish years.
Okay. Right? Oh, Dame, are you about to give it a 10% interest rate on this thing like you normally do?
No, I'm going to do 7.
10.5.
Have it double. Let's just say it doubles twice.
Take it easy, Dame Ramsey.
He's going to have $250,000. Oh, sorry, $750,000.
Okay.
By the time it's 7%, 25 years.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So
we got that. $750,000 is what Dame is saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Still going to have $72,000 at least in his pension that he's pulling at that point. He could have a side income. He's going to have that 90 would be 180 be call it $400,000 by the time he retires, plus Social Security. I don't know. I think they're kind of killing it on the retirement front right now.
I kind of disagree.
I was going to say, I don't think that they're not. It's just too many contingencies. That plan is contingent on him working in this same industry and being able to put his body through that for that amount of time, and him maintaining a side hustle as his kids get older and take up more time. And I don't know.
side hustle when his kids take up more time. They'll be out of the house
No, no,
by the
no.
time he retires.
No, but I mean, like, as the kids get older, they have more activities. There's mom can't be taking all, how many are there? 4 or 5? Mom
11. They have 11 kids.
like, mom can't be, she can't be at every sport, every activity. Like, it's going to require someone to help her or him to be able to. And if he's got this side hustle, he might have to ratchet that time back.
Kristen, those are future employees. That's labor that he's raising right there.
That's a
with
good
the side
point.
hustle.
If it's landscaping, he's literally
Yeah.
got free labor. But the problem is the other, which we alluded to, but didn't really talk through, is if this side income is from calendar shoots, as he ages, his rate is going to go down.
That's so true.
AI does some crazy stuff.
Okay, Dame, I appreciate the math you used, and I don't know why I'm about to do this. I kind of disagree that they're super set for retirement. I think they've got an amazing start for retirement, but I think this is why they should not pull back on retirement savings.
Pull back
because
doesn't mean stop.
But then
it
Dame
means
just can't help-
temporarily stop.
Yeah.
Not to me. To pull back means could we punt on Roth contributions for a while?
But why? Their total income saved for retirement right now is like 13-ish%. It's less than 15. I mean, if somebody told you that they were going to reduce their retirement contributions to less than 10% of their income, you'd tell them, yeah.
No, not necessarily. But okay, take it out of the Roth, put it in the 457s where it's taxed traditionally. You get a little bit bigger paycheck. Use that difference towards paying down the mortgage a little bit faster.
Let's go back to Dame. We'll even use 8%. I know you like 10% as an investment rate of
Used
return.
7 and
publicly.
9 numbers. Thank you.
Okay. His interest he's paying is at 6.5%. Why would he try to get rid of that when he can get 8 on the other side? That makes no sense.
But to his credit, he said he understands that's not what the math supports. He's struggling with the behavior side and like what it feels like to their household. So like he's acknowledging in the email that he knows that that's not what the math would suggest because money's not math.
I'm choosing my words. That is always bad on this show. I don't think this is a cry for help because I don't want to be that dramatic. I think this is a dude that's just super stressed and really feeling the pressure. And I think that's what this is all about. And I understand that. I have felt that personally. Have I fathered 4 children? No. Yet. We all know what the pressure of all this stuff feels like. And I think that's all this is. And that's not to marginalize it. It's to acknowledge it and say, dude, it's going to be okay. Don't start moving stuff around to make you release pressure. Like just keep going. You're doing fine. Build your emergency fund a little bit. And then ultimately find your way out of that second income because that's what's actually going to kill you in the end.
Yeah. And to be clear, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't pay down the mortgage faster. I would continue to save for retirement. What I was trying to communicate was he's not going to blow everything up if he decides that he's going to focus on this, in my opinion. It might be a little bit tighter, but I think he could do it, but I wouldn't do it.
Because of the pension.
Right.
Because of the pension.
All right. This is a good one. I like this one. Dalmatian. Hey, the 3 of us think you're doing great. Don't panic. If you want to talk about it a little more, just email us back. You know how to find us. Anyone can do it. Ask Pete at PeteThePlanner.com. Ask Pete at PeteThePlanner.com. People really do email us, and then they listen, and then they email us back and tell us that Dame was wrong. So here's what we're going to do. The show is still moving. We've got the biggest waste of money of the week and the news that is next right here on the Pete the Planner Show. I'm Pete the Planner. Yeah, I did stop that segment 13 seconds early because the people want some more Johnny Cougar.
Indeed.
Oh boy, oh boy. I interviewed the governor this week
Yes.
Of Indiana?
of Indiana.
Wow.
It was interesting. I'm trying to figure if I want to talk about it or not, but it was it'll be for ears later. It's just not for consumption now. But, Dame,
I definitely have questions, but I do not want to ask them right now.
Go ahead. Oh, you don't?
No.
No.
Oh, he wants to ask them off the air.
Yes.
Okay. I will say this. Choosing words again. I learned something about business in our conversation. Not that I learned something. It was reinforced an idea that's sort of no longer popular or in vogue. And that was, I'm in the business of growing, grow fast, take on investment, grow fast, outgrow. Oh my, we got computer sounds. Outgrow the profit challenges, right? And he was like, I was like, what was the toughest time you ever had in business? He's like, we didn't. Because he's like, we worked out of a trailer for 17 years. And my biggest paycheck I ever got was when I became a US Senator, because I paid myself very little. And,
Wow.
and it was just, I don't know, it was really interesting. I didn't necessarily expect to hear that. But anyway, Dame, I look forward to our conversation off the air.
Yeah.
And I will share my interview with him about all that in the coming months.
Interesting.
All right, let's finish the show. Not so we can talk off the air per se. not that. Okay. 3, 2, 1. This week's biggest waste of money of the week right here on the Pita Planner Show is the Lumina Laser Hair Growth Device. HairMax's Laser Band 272 brings clinical hair growth technology to a form factor designed for convenience, combining 272 medical-grade lasers with a flexible, hands-free design that treats the entire scalp in as little as 90 seconds per sesh. Using low-level laser therapy to stimulate hair follicles and promote healthier, denser-looking hair, the device offers a non-invasive approach for men and women seeking to address thinning without adding another complicated step to the routine. The patented band design parts the hair automatically to maximize laser delivery, while its cordless operation keeps the process refreshingly simple. More than a grooming gadget, the Laser Band 272 represents a high-tech approach to hair restoration that prioritizes speed and ease alongside proven light-based therapy. For those that cannot see it, it looks like a perforated hard hat. Dame, I have thoughts as a hairless male, and I assume you do too. What do you think, pal?
A couple things. One, telling me that I could get results by shooting my head with lasers for 90 seconds seems unbelievable. Plus, it seems like it would burn for only 90 seconds. And I know they said they're low-level lasers, but seems like that would have to shoot with a little bit more power to get some kind of results to restore these stubborn hair follicles on my head.
Let me say this before we start guessing the price of this thing. And I'm going to speak for myself, but I'm going to speak from experience. When your hair starts to thin, it is a moment where your self-confidence can dip. You know, how you used to see yourself is no longer how you see yourself, and it can sting, and it doesn't feel lovely. And so you have a couple different options. You can do literally nothing and continue to probably feel how you feel. You can go and get treatment and try to restore how you used to feel about yourself. Or you can fire it before it quits and just shave it and take complete control over the situation. That is what Damian Dunn did. That is what Peter Dunn has done. And I think it is incredibly freeing to do such a thing. And it's with that, Kristen, how much does the Lumina Laser Hair Growth Device cost a brother?
For anyone, just and as an additional point of clarity, it looks like one of the UV lights you put your nails under when you get them done. But again, perforated on top. Dame knows.
Mhm.
I want to guess $499. It's
Oh,
at
man.
home. It's at
What?
home use, right?
Yeah, it's at home.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you could use it at an airport too. But Dame, what else you got?
It totally looks like something that should be on a TV infomercial
Oh.
that we would have seen in the 80s or 90s. I mean, if they would have said it's not $99.99, no, not even 80, you can just hear them walking the price back on an old school infomercial. This is a $150.
No way.
Before I give you the price, I want to ask if you guys both heard me do a Kristen sound when Dame just started talking. Did anyone hear me make a Kristen sound? I go, oh. That's something she does. Like you'll say something and she'll oh.
I do, right?
You do that. $1,999 to burn the bejesus out of your scalp. Dame, what is in the news this week?
Americans are finding that one of the few ways to save money in the car market is by refinancing their auto loans. Drivers who refinanced in the first quarter of 2026 saw this percentage point interest rate decrease on average from their original loan.
Decrease.
That was fill in the blank. Yeah, they decreased. That's how they're saving money, Kristen. They're decreasing the interest rates on their
0.5%.
A quarter percent.
Peter Dunn is in with 0.5%. Kristen.
I wouldn't have even guessed a decrease. So my guess is going to be bad. At less than that.
2.24% decrease in their auto loans in the
Okay,
first quarter.
Let's not. Okay. There's two ways you can talk about this. It can be 2 points, or it can be 2% of what the rate was. Are they getting cute?
2.24% point interest rate decrease.
Because they extended the loan term that originally had 36 months left and then they re-extended it to 60 or what?
That's where it's going.
Like, there's no way.
Could be. Don't have that information here. But they had 111,000. This is just from Experian. Tracked 111,000 people refinancing auto loans in the first quarter.
Guys, I'm a car guy.
Yeah.
I was bored before the U.S. men's national game last night, a team game last night, and so I was on my computer. I built a should I repair it or get a different car calculator.
Really?
Fun.
Vibe code on it. And what it does is it takes your make and model and then searches the problems that exist within that car, and then based on your mileage, what the problems are going to be, and then says this is what you should do based on any make or model or year. I think it's pretty brilliant.
The actual car guy on the show, his wheels are turning. No pun intended.
Dave, do you want me to send it to you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. That was a great pun. Dame, what else is in the news?
We spend a lot of time talking about the importance of saving money on the show, but is it possible that society could actually save too much? According to the Wall Street Journal, that's exactly the challenge that Europe is facing right now. Since 2019, consumer spending has increased just 5.5% across the Eurozone, compared with 18% here in the United States. The surprising part, Europeans actually have more inflation-adjusted income than they did before the pandemic. They're just choosing to save a much larger share of it.
That's interesting. It's because of the scheme.
I don't know, but they said if they were to return to pre-pandemic levels of spending, the economy would be 1.3% larger than it is today in Europe.
I've always been fascinated by the fact that we're a consumer-based economy that, my words, depends on people making terrible decisions for us to collectively succeed.
That's what I was just thinking.
It's like, okay, every time a administration issues a stimulus check, they're basically saying, all right, dummies, go save this thing. Go do your thing.
Yeah, like I feel like what I was hearing from the article was like, hey, we should be saving more. It's like, but that's good for the economy. I don't care for that.
Dame, what else is in the news?
Here's a number that might surprise you. Americans who bought homes since 2022 are paying an estimated $65 billion every year simply because they didn't shop around for a better mortgage. According to new research from Bankrate, the typical borrower who settles for the first loan offer could pay more than $78,000 in additional interest over the life of a 30-year mortgage. And that's because even a quarter or 0.5% difference in your interest rate can snowball into tens of thousands of dollars over time. And here's the twist. You might think wealthy, financially savvy buyers get better deals. Well, they don't. Higher income borrowers actually are more likely to overpay, often because they're confident they'll qualify and don't bother comparing multiple lenders.
I buy that.
Yeah, I buy that. I tend to make very fast decisions, and I always say, like, in my head, the speed of which I can make the decision saves me time in the back end. But if you make a decision too fast and you don't understand the lending space, you probably are going to pay. And plus, competition is unique, or not uniquely, it's wonderfully American. Like, competition matters, and that's what drives down prices.
Indeed.
Oh, there's your econ lesson for the day. All right. Well, we did this. Next week's show is a best of on the radio. If you want to listen to a podcast, it's a new episode, then you're going to have to download and subscribe to the Pete the Planner podcast. Go to wherever you get podcasts, search the terms Pete the Planner, subscribe. Send you good vibes, because good vibes are all that's in the budget. I'm Pete the Planner, and this is the show. I felt like it was a really long show, but not in a bad way, just like a fun, long show, and it's only an hour.
It did feel long, huh?
It did. I agree with that.
All right, Dame, do you want the off-the-air stuff now, pal?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, everybody. All right, so this afternoon, I'm going to record a show for next week. It's going to be something. It'll be special. All right, let me ask my friends here. You guys, on this show, how much of the real me do we get? 1 out of 10, the full PTP craziness. What is the current score of how I act in this environment on this show, 1 to 10? Where am I at these days?
How you act on this
on
show?
This show. Like, I feel like I'm a 9, 8.5 to 9 these days. Kristen made a face. What do you think?
I feel like it's lower than that. I feel like you're like a 7.
Really? Okay. Dame, what do you think?
No, I think you're pretty representative of how you actually, you're definitely not overplaying the normal Pete the Planner.
When I'm on other podcasts, like the IBJ podcast with Mason, I pull it back, definitely a couple clicks.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I might go full tilt this afternoon, but I'm going to need some caffeine. So we'll see what happens.
Send it.
Paging Miguel.
Send it. All right, everybody, stay getting money.